What's up, everybody watching On Air with Nick Driver podcast here on YouTube. And guys, we are talking a little bit about Stephen A. Smith's take on Bronny James. For all you guys that do not know, Bronny James is up and down in the NBA. You know, he really belongs in the G League, if there. But, you know, LeBron James is being such a pivotal and influential player, one of the top 5 of all time in the NBA, kind of gets to have his way, you know, with how the Lakers are currently being ran. So let's get on into the Stephen A. Smith show. Let's get it.
Back to the Stephen A. Smith show. Now let's go to Philadelphia, where Bronny James last night played his most minutes by far in an NBA game last night as the Lakers lost to the 76ers 118-104. Bronny was held scoreless in 15 minutes and struggled guarding Sixers star Tyrese Maxey. Before I get to my thoughts, please take a listen to Coach J.J. Redick and what he had to say about Bronny's performance last night. Take a listen.
I maybe put him in a tough spot, you know, flying up yesterday and, you know, nationally televised game and Philly, all that stuff. It's, you know, he didn't play well, but he's been playing great, you know, in the Stay Ready games, and he's been playing great in the G.
You know, I was on First Take, my day job on ESPN earlier this morning, and I spoke about this, and I felt the need to elaborate even further because a couple of people text me and pissed me off, and they know who they are. People close to LeBron James talking to me about questioning him as a father. Come on, y'all. I mean, it's gotten to a point where this LeBron sensitivity is just beyond the pale. You call him the second best player in the history of the game. You're insulting him because you said he's not the GOAT.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, LeBron James, the whole entire thing with LeBron James right now is you can't even almost like critique him for some reason. He thinks he's above being critiqued. And that's kind of like when Joe Biden said nobody's above the law, and then he lets out like 6,000 people. Of course, man. It's called entitlement. LeBron James has a load of what's called entitlement. You know, and one of the crazy things here is watching J.J. Redick make excuses for Bronny is absolutely insane. If that was any other player, they'd be down in the G League. And watching J.J. Redick make excuses for Bronny James is insane. If he was any other player playing as crappy as Bronny James is playing, he would be down in the G League, if not kicked out of the entire league altogether.
You're saying that at age 40, we've never seen anybody do what he does, but pointing out at times how he may not have hustled back on defense in a key pivotal moment, and that's a problem.
Right.
You give him all the praise in the world when he drops 40, but he has a bad night, and you say he had a bad night, and you're hating.
Yeah, that's true.
It's ridiculous.
That's true.
But never before has it been more ridiculous than it is right now, because the reality is that we got to be real about what we're seeing when we talk about Bronny James. I am not a person that had a problem with Bronny James
right there, man,
being on the court
0 points
for the season opener
over
with
5
LeBron James.
Over 3.
That was a phenomenal moment to see a father on the court with his son who has NBA aspirations playing together for the first time in NBA history. The Griffeys in baseball, Ken Griffey Sr. and Jr. were in attendance for it. It was a special moment. My position has always been that should have been the only moment we saw Bronny James in a Lakers uniform this season, because he's not ready. I'm not here to tell you that he won't be ready. I'm not here to tell you that he won't be an NBA player. I'm not here to tell you that he should give up his dreams and his aspirations. I think the kid's got potential. Right. I think the kid will be in the NBA one day. I watched him in the G League doing this thing. I think he's going to be fine eventually. But that's not the case yet.
Right.
And because it's not the case yet, and then you see some of these numbers, I do find myself looking at LeBron James instead of Bronny James, because LeBron is the basketball savant. LeBron is one of the top 2 greatest players in the history of the game. LeBron has forgotten more basketball than most people would know. So no matter what we think about Bronny, he knows more. But you see what you see Bronny James has played in 13 NBA games. Ladies and gentlemen, he's averaging 0.3 points, 0.3 assists,
Jeez,
and 0.4 rebounds. He shot 1 for 16 from the field in his
terrible.
NBA career and 0 for 7 from 3-point range. And he's playing in the first quarter of an NBA game?
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Really? And
well, we all know why he's playing in the first quarter. It's because JJ Redick is, I mean, JJ Redick is in LeBron's back pocket, bro. They're on the same, they got same management. They got, you know, JJ Redick is the Lakers coach because that's who LeBron James wanted there. So it's not surprising that Bronny is starting, but it's just crazy to me that he's even starting. I mean, the guy really clearly belongs in the G League.
Everybody wants to look at it, and LeBron has nothing to do with that. That's yeah. He didn't tell JJ Redick to put him in the game. I get all that.
Yeah, right, bro. Yeah, he did.
But come on.
Why else would he start?
I'm not being cruel to Bronny. I'm looking out. Do you want it this way, LeBron? Do you want it this way, Rich Paul? Do you want it this way? He can't go into the G League and average 20, 25 and stay there until he's ready.
Right.
Because he's LeBron's son, you know how they're going to judge him. And before anybody wants to jump on me, remember, I never saw Bronny James play until he showed up in the NBA and the G League. I refused to watch him because if I watched him, I would have to talk about him. And I didn't want to talk about LeBron James' son because I thought it was so unfair to the kid. He's such a wonderful kid, wonderful family. I don't want to hear me talking about questioning LeBron James' fatherhood. LeBron, how many times do I have to rave about LeBron James? On ESPN, I put up a ticker. Great father, great husband, great philanthropist, great businessman, great actor, great producer, great director. Great. How many times have I said that? I'm simply saying, yo, he's not ready yet. And to put him out there, getting him exposed to that is really hard to watch. When Kobe Bryant was a rookie and shot those air balls in that closeout playoff game against the Utah Jazz, people were talking about he wasn't ready for the moment.
Right.
And I thought it was unconscionable what Coach Del Harris at the time did to him, throwing him to the wolves because he got frustrated because Kobe kept talking about how he's going to end up being the greatest ever because he was chasing Jordan and they got tired of hearing his mouth and his bravado. And he threw him to the wolves very unfairly, which I think is something that ultimately ruined Del Harris.
Yeah, it did.
Because he shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
But nobody questioned whether or not Kobe Bryant belonged in the NBA. Nobody questioned that. With Bronny James, they're questioning it. Because there's no collegiate career to speak of because he had the health issue and never really did anything at USC in his only year there.
Facts.
And he ends up getting drafted 55th overall.
Yeah, that's that too.
And I don't care about the money that he's going to end up making. Like he'll end up making over a span of a couple of years, $8 million, while the other 55th pick from the year before that probably made about $800,000. The hell with that. LeBron James is underpaid. LeBron James is underpaid. He should get paid much more than he's getting paid. And any money that he could get for his son, he could get for Rich Paul, he could get for anybody, he should get because he is underpaid with what he means to the NBA. I don't care about the money. I care about what the kid is being exposed to. With LeBron James' mystique hovering over him.
Right.
0.3 points, 0.3 assists, 0.4
That's
rebounds.
bad, bro.
1 for 16 shooting overall, 0 for 7 from 3-point range, 13 games. There are millions of kids out there starving to play in an NBA game. that are more qualified than his stats show.
All right, guys, there you go. It comes down to this stuff. Bronny James just is not ready for the NBA. Me and one of my buddies, Zach, were talking a couple months back, and Zach is a huge LeBron fan. And, me and him were talking, and I did mention to him, I said, man, I just don't feel like Bronny is going to be ready. And, Zach's on the side of Bronny, he'd be ready to go one of these, upcoming games, stuff like that. But, when I look at it, I think, man, I just don't think Bronny's ready at the moment. I don't see it when he plays. He rarely scores in the NBA. There's a big jump between the G League and the NBA. Like, there's dudes that can ball out, man, in the G League. And Bronny can clearly play, but, I mean, he's not the savant his dad was. He's not a sixth man coming off the bench. He shouldn't be starting. There's probably no other NBA player that has this horrific stat line that Bronny James has that actually at least starts. Some of the, out of market teams that aren't in major cities, they may have a couple players here and there that are later down in the bench that have stat lines like this, but there's no one in the NBA that has a stat line like this that's coming in the first quarter. It's nepotism at its finest. I'm fine with it. But all I am saying is when Bronny James comes in that game, somebody who actually is a lot better than him is not getting an opportunity. Hope you guys have a blessed day. You take care. You watch On Air with Nick Driver podcast. Be safe, guys. Ring that bell. Like, comment, subscribe to this channel. If you enjoy content like this, be safe. Take care.